Some sad news now about one of our best-known darts players reaching us just in the past half an hour. Eric Bristow has died. He suffered a heart attack while watching a darts competition in Liverpool tonight. When news broke there, the crowd started chanting, "There's only one Eric Bristow."
It's quite magnificent to watch that level of respect. A personality who's larger in a way than the sport itself.
Yes, it's there!
I loved his cockiness and his confidence.
Showing his world dominance!
Without Eric, I don't think there'd be darts as we know it today. It was a great era to be playing. And Eric put darts on the map.
Bristow strikes back, just like the Empire.
It was a golden age of darts.
In the 80s, suddenly, darts had celebrities.
The plumber by day, darts superstar by night.
They are slightly portly superheroes.
You've been calling him as fat as a pig.
In fairness, I'm fat and that, but I don't carry on like him.
Didn't speak to me for 6 months.
The tension on Johnny's face.
Darts became a kind of badge for the forgotten classes.
Just because we like a few pints, it's not the end of the world.
But some players just couldn't hack it.
Eric looked me in the eye and said, "You've seen nothing yet."
Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for marching once again.
4 years into the Thatcher era, Britain was a nation divided.
Unemployment shows no sign of improvement, so any hopes that the worst may be over have been firmly slapped down by today's figures.
The failures of Tory policy are hitting us hard.
If I could press a button and genuinely solve the unemployment problem, do you think that I would not press that button this instant?
There was industrial decline, lots of unemployment. But out of it all, the most amazing thing happened because, you know, a pub game became a kind of national obsession.
1983 World Professional Championship Grand Final.
It was in the winter of 1983 when that obsession came of age.
1,100 seats and 5 bars served by 50 beer pumps provide the essential tapestry for big-time darts.
The 1983 World Championship final is the biggest viewing figures ever on British television as far as darts is concerned.
10 million people tuned in.
It was all people were talking about. I mean, you'd go into work the next day and there would be somebody talking about, you know, what happened at the darts. You had to see it.
Competing to win the sport's top prize, the world's best players.
Bobby George, very flamboyant, very big figure.
Great players like Cliff Lazarenko, Leighton Rees, John Lowe, Jockey Wilson. They were all fan favourites.
And this is what it's all about. That beautiful trophy plus £8,000 first prize.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the grand final, would you welcome back, please, Eric Bristow and Keith Dowler.
Keith Dowler always gave me the impression of not being quite the sharpest tool in the box. But the top players in the world he had to beat to get to that final. And then he's confronted with the one and only, Eric.
Oh, he's over the moon. He's got Keith in the final, you know, that's it. You know, he's won. In his mind, he'd won.
It's like Wembley on cup final day.
No one had changed the game of darts more than Eric Bristow.
Hang on.
Well, now for news of a game of skill, over to John. The game of darts is one of the top favourite games in this country. And it also needs quite a bit of skill.
It's a pub game. It's where people went after work, the miners, the bricklayers, joiners, plumbers. I was a joiner by trade. We all went and enjoyed a pint and a game of darts.
The dartboard scores from 1 all the way round to 20, but not quite in that order. The outer circle is the double, the inner circle is the treble. You've got 2 bulls. The outer bull scores 25 and the inner bull scores 50. The highest number you can get throwing the set is 180, and that's getting all the three of them into the treble 20.
By the early 1970s, darts began to attract the attention of TV broadcasters.
Player requires 40. Yes!
Although it had to fend off some stiff competition for centre stage.
George Jones of Northamptonshire won the first ever televised Cheese Skittles Championship with skill like this.
That shows you how low darts was in the pecking order and how low it was in the social pecking order as well.
Now for the fourth quarter-final featuring Leighton Rees and Cliff Lazarenko, a real clash of the giants.
But as TV entertainment, darts soon outstripped its rivals.
He wants 2 18s.
And waiting in the wings was the sport's first leading man.
It's a kind of indoor archery. What do you think?
Never catch on.
Eric Bristow. Eric Bristow. That is tremendous. One of the glossiest finishes we've ever seen on television from Eric Bristow.
The first time I met this guy, tall, sunglasses on, he said, "You don't know me, but I'm Eric Bristow." I said, "Oh, are you?" Yeah. And I thought, why is he wearing dark glasses? And he went like that, and he got a black eye.
I met Eric. He was like Larry, you know. He was a cocky little sod. He was a good dart player for a young.
This Cockney-wide boy, all mouth, all steel, you know, not fat, young.
In them days, it was like, wow, revolution, this is.
This is something quite different from the staid, middle-aged blokes that have been populating the sport.
The future of darts, really.
He's going for the double four.
An only child, Eric grew up in Hackney, at that time a working-class borough of London.
Where I used to live, it was like a gang of us. I think when you're younger, you want to be one of the lads. If they all go out and nick a car, you ain't going to stand on the curb and let the rest of your pals drive off. So you tend to get in it, and when you're younger, it's exciting.
He used to go around with a claw hammer down his trousers in case there was any trouble.
Well, he had a spanner and a few other things in his pocket, and they said they were house-breaking implements. And went for a ride in a stolen car. They're the sort of things we all do, well, most boys do anyway.
I think he was 16, just turned 16 when I first met him. He had a lot of wrong-uns around him, people, you know, committing crimes, you know, stealing just to make some money.
A lot of my old friends all ended up inside. I didn't want to be stuck in Stonehenge for the rest of my life. For me, I wanted to go out and have a look around.
My dad's philosophy was that everybody's good at something. He'd give me a set of darts, and we used to practice away upstairs, and he bought me a dartboard and put it in my bedroom, and we'd practice away for about 2 years, 3 years, and by the time I was 15, he took me down a local pub.
Eric's father would take Eric into bars where he'd say, look, you want to try and beat my lad? They call it money racing back then, going in the bars and just playing people for money. They soon found out they didn't want to mess with this teenager.
I slaughtered a lot of them, which was nice, you know, and he's loving it, standing at the bar, his little boy, killing everybody.
And, you know, what a feeling for a lad. Instead of being scolded for being a bad boy, you were actually doing something which pleased your dad.
It's like a pride thing, isn't it? The more he was playing well and winning, the more his dad, George, was pushing him. I think he learnt to be a winner from his dad, although obviously I think winning breeds the need to win. You want to win more because you know how bad you feel when you lose.
They put me in their team, put me #1.
He was the best around. And I'm sure Eric didn't take too long to let everybody know that.
He was arrogant and big-headed. He was good, and always will be good. But one of these days, get taken down a peg.
Moving from pub teams to competing in national tournaments, Eric's rise was meteoric.
He wants 2-8s.
Yeah! Alexei Vastikai is indeed in the treble. Tremendous. It's game shots and match shots to England. This crowd are putting their hands together to salute a game of darts that surely will go into the archives.
Eric's first big test was at the sport's most prestigious competition.
So welcome back to Wembley for the final of the 1977 Widmer World Masters. Coming onto stage now from London, 20-year-old crafty cockney Eric Bristow. So now Bristow looking at this World Masters title. £2,000 and an awful lot of prestige.
When he was at the hockey, the way he, just at the end, the little finger, like, you know, like he was at a vicarage tea party.
He used to get a lot of stick for that, but soon, as time went on, he didn't get stick because you couldn't really take the mickey out of Eric, you know, the way he played.
Well, surely Bristow will not allow it to slip away again. 2-8s for the title. Yeah! And he is not going to let it slip away. Eric Bristow, 20-year-old from London. The forward horse is the 1977 World Darting Master, and he is loving every moment.
In just 4 short years, Eric had come a long way from his money racing days in Hackney's pubs.
Well, there's no question at all about it. The occasion almost now getting the better of Eric Bristow. I saw there's a tear in there.
I think he cried because it's very emotional. He repaid the faith that his family had shown in him. He came across as very confident, very cocky, but as a person, he wasn't that confident.
All a complete front, because he didn't have more confidence than anyone else. He's trying to have an edge over other players by telling them, I'm better than you. I'm much better than you. But I don't think he really believed that.
Eric was the master of mind games. He used to walk into venues and say, you know, oh, who's going to be runner-up today? When he played darts, he made himself confident. That was part of why he was successful.
It's a great feeling when you win a tournament. It's the sort of thing that money can't buy. You've won it. You've won that tournament that everybody else wanted to win.
I'll tell you what, my missus watches you on the box, right?
Yeah.
She thinks you're a big head.
Yeah?
Thinks you're conceited. Thinks you're a cocky young man.
You finished? I'm just a great dart player, that's all I say, yeah.
We're here to cover this brand new tournament, the Embassy World Professional Championships, the richest in the world.
In 1978, darts got its very own undisputed World Championship tournament.
You could possibly be the world champion.
The great championships, the news of the World Masters of the 70s became now overshadowed by the big one. To win the Embassy was like your Olympic medal.
Just a year after winning the Masters, Eric was tipped to take the trophy.
So Daniel's 48 away from the biggest upset since the Wolves at Jericho. Double 16 he wants.
But crumbled to a rank outsider in the first round.
It was a shock, and he was devastated, you know, because that was what he really wanted to win. He wanted to be world champion. So it was a big knockback for him.
The following year, Eric took up the fight again at his second attempt.
This is match point for a place in the last four. Alan Evans, the double 7. Yes! Yes!
But went out in the quarter-final to Welshman Alan Evans.
The thing is that you're so easy to beat.
No problem, it's all well.
easy.
Actually, it wasn't one of your best nights, though, Eric, was it?
I played terrible tonight. I'm disgusted the way I played, to be quite honest. Defeat is heartbreaking. You get to the last 8, And then you go out, it's depressing.
There was other people walking around saying they were world champions and he wasn't, and that would have crucified him. That would have crucified him.
To make matters worse, Eric's reputation as the game's leading showman was also in danger of being eclipsed.
And he has done it! Championship stuff from Bobby George, and the News of the World crown is his.
The News of the World Championship. You got me trophy for Diana Dawes. Lovely lady. She loves a pint as well. She can drip down a pint.
Dear Bobby, a larger-than-life character.
He was like Mr. Popularity.
And the gardens. Probably the most flamboyant of all. So much bling, I'm surprised he could even hold his hand up. It must have been very heavy.
He looked like a bodybuilder. He had big arms and muscles, and he used to turn up with a tight-fitting T-shirt.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me, hit me.
I worked in the tunnels, the Victoria line. I was a leading miner, digging the tunnels out.
Hit me slowly, hit me quick.
Bobby is good looking. He got everything Bobby had, hadn't he?
In 1980, the two most charismatic players in the game would go head-to-head in the World Championship final at Jolly's nightclub in Stoke-on-Trent.
The Jollies. It was like the home of the darts then.
It was rowdy and raucous, and, you know, I remember writing a piece about it, saying, you know, they're the nicest bunch of people who ever spilt lager in your crutch.
After licking his wounds, Eric once again prepared to give the title his best shot.
When you get beaten badly, you get scarred by it, you know, psychologically scarred. But the psychology is the difference between the top players and the players who want to be top players. They're resilient.
I think there's room for improvement in my game. But if I practice right, I know my best game is better than anybody else's best game.
The atmosphere here in the club is quite incredible. 1,500 people packing the auditorium in anticipation of the best darts of the week in this, the final of the Embassy World Professional Darts Championship. The finalists, Bobby George of Essex and Eric Bristow.
As the gladiators come out, don't even blink, because I think these two will go off like guided missiles.
When Eric and Bobby played their match, that was a real showbiz event. Eric Bristow was the first real surprise star, the crafty Cockney. Gosh, he even had a name, you know, that sort of thing. There was something changing in the feel of the way the players were presenting themselves.
And it wasn't just the players' presentation that had changed.
Game on, ladies and gentlemen.
That was good what they done with the split screen. So they see your face. Well, you become a television star through people looking at your face.
It's picking up players' reactions. The disappointed reaction, you know, or the angry reaction, you know. It's picking all that up. And they're making them more human.
60.
They're vulnerable. They miss by a fraction. That psychological aspect of sport is there. Sport is a narrative. Sport is an enthralling narrative.
This is one fantastic answer.
140!
Bobby George came this week with an enormous reputation. He's playing tonight true to his pedigree.
Darts is basically a game of maths. You start with 501. You're trying to get to 0. When you finish the game, you have to finish on a double number, whether that's double 20, 40, or double 16, which is 32.
Yes!
You have to finish exactly on a double number, or the bullseye to get to 0.
Bobby George, Eric Bristow, Bobby George, Eric.
The standards, truly the greatest I think anybody's ever seen.
I would say most of the people wanted Bobby George to win. 60-40 or maybe more, maybe 70-30, it was they wanted Bobby George to win.
Thank you.
first man to get 5 sets takes £4,500. It's the biggest prize in darts, referred to by the players as the big one.
In the World Championships, you play a leg of 501. The first 3 legs wins a set, and for this final, you play best of 9 sets to decide the winner.
Well, it's funny, I wasn't nervous. I think back, I wasn't nervous because I thought I was good enough. You know, if you're good enough, you don't care.
With 2 players at the peak of their powers, a tough battle ensued, with Bobby just edging ahead.
I think Bobby was probably at his best then, in that game. And the way it was going, it looked like he was going to win, to be honest.
Going some, Bobby George.
140!
No, you don't do that to Eric, do you? I mean, you know, he's going to chase after you. He's going to stick a dart between your shoulder blades.
Thank you.
Perfect reaction, perfect reply. So Bristow to level up the set score.
Eric, you require 56.
And put everybody right on the edge of their seats. 2 darts. Double top. Double 10.
Yeah!
Yes, Eric Bristow 3. Bobby George 3.
This is Eric just dialing it up. You could see that reptilian gaze that Eric had.
180!
What they came to see.
I was a lot of needle beforehand in that game between me and Bobby.
I could do the wind up to him as well. He thought he had the chat, but I had a little bit more.
He said he was going to beat me, and after he beat me, he was going to, on the mic afterwards, going to tell everybody a poem about me. I don't like people saying they're going to beat me.
You don't want to really ruffle his feathers. He'll throw angry darts.
Sweat taking some of the curl out of Bobby George's hair at the front.
It's not just 2 blokes in a room throwing darts at a board. It's actually a gladiatorial contest. If you want to win, you have to have the killer instinct. You have to be a real bastard.
Eric, you
Well,
require 44.
There we go, bananas in the crowd, his fans. If he takes this, so it puts him 4-3 up, double 16.
Yes! Bristow takes off like a missile. 4 his opponent, Bobby George 3.
So, within minutes, we could see a crafty Cockney become champion.
If Eric could win the next set, he would take the world title. But Bobby wasn't about to give up.
Bobby, you require 121.
He's got it. He's got 33. It's in the 60. Double 14.
Yes!
2-1!
Off the floor like Bobby George.
True boxer.
He took the 3rd leg to lead the set.
It's like having a ringside seat at the Coliseum. Double 16 for Bristow.
32. Yeah!
That'll do!
2-2.
With the leg score 2-2 in the set, Bobby needed the final leg to stay in the match, whereas Eric needed it to win the championship.
At the 3rd time of asking, dart's most coveted prize was finally within reach for Bristow.
Eric, I think for the first time, genuinely looks nervous. He wants 120. The checkout we call Shanghai, but the treble, the single and the double of the same number.
I've been doing this game for a while. I don't remember this much tension. For the championship, Shanghai on 20s. He's got the 60, 20. Double top.
A whisker out.
Eric's missed one dart to be world champion for the first time. Bobby walks up expecting, like the rest of us, to level it.
18 means double 9, and the set to level it up.
Bobby, you
4-4.
That's the order, please.
But he hits the single 9, which means he now needs a 1.
Awkward one. 1.
But the 1 is perilously close to the 20.
Worst thing you can think, don't hit the 20. I thought, well, come on, don't hit the 20, Bob.
It's going around his head, around his head. For fuck's sake, don't hit a single 20.
Well, that's what I did.
No, he busted. Score. So here we have championship point. Eric Bristow, rated #1 in the world,
Order, please, ladies and gentlemen.
needs a single double to become the world champion. Once double 10. Eric Bristow from Stock Newington becomes the 1980 Embassy Professional Champion of the world.
When I beat him, I turned round to him on the telly and I said, "What was your poem?" And he went, and didn't know, so I gave him a kiss on the cheek, didn't I?
What did you kiss before? He did like me, you see.
Fantastic darts here at Jolly's.
I just felt Eric deserved it. You know, he needed it, and I was relieved that he'd won it.
And now Eric Bristow will receive his cheque for £4,500.
Winning's great, I love them. It's the best thing in the world. The greatest medicine to man is to win.
You know, being a world champion brings prize money and, you know, maybe having the things that maybe his parents didn't have and also helping his family as well.
I'm not really worried about Bobby because I beat him in the semi-final of the World Masters.
And I tried again, trying to get him to say something slightly kinder, because Bobby had played a good game.
A genuine word about Bobby George. He played magnificently tonight, and he's really set the darts world alight in this past year.
He's going to be the #2 of the future. Yeah.
His character was great for the game. You know, it made people talk about darts.
No 2-5, that's a triple 20, and that's the shot. Oh, unbelievable. 51.
Darts became one of the big things on television.
And the unquestioned world #1, Eric Bristow.
The flamboyance of the players, like Eric, was making it into showbiz.
He'd walk on a stage and he'd if they were booing him, he'd say, come on, and hold his ears, come on, you know, a bit more, let's have it louder, you know, and
Suddenly, darts had celebrities.
You've got a lot of people looking at the television. There's millions and millions of people watching it. People recognise you. If you present yourself properly, play well, talk properly, then they book you. I need Emu to give me a hand with this one.
What an honour, Emu, to give Bobby George a hand at darts. Oh, that's going to be so... Oh,
The world's finest darts player, Eric Bristow. Nice to have you on the show, Eric.
Right, I'm going to play the drums better than you played the darts.
Right. You've got the deal. Here we go.
Darts players were fast becoming household names, but the working-class pub culture of the sport wasn't for everyone.
Now, changing course to a new breed of British sporting heroes. Most of all, they are men. They're not lean men or sleek or particularly graceful men and all that kind of thing. They're more a bunch of macho men, lads heavily primed with pints of lager.
And I just think, really, in the end, you know, it was snobbery, the middle-class lefty thing.
A reader wrote in and said, you know, as far as I'm concerned, if you can smoke while you're doing it, it's not a sport.
You're a big kind of lad, aren't you? You're big built, as they say.
But I'm not full of lager or nothing.
You're not full of lager nor nothing?
No. I did like the bloke. He took the mickey out of everything.
Yeah. Have you made a bob or two out of your darts?
Put it this way, it's better than floor laying.
You've done what?
It's better than being a floor layer.
Is that what you were before? A floor layer?
Yeah.
He said, now tell me, because he used to talk like this, tell me this and tell me no more. Have you ever been drunk playing darts? Eh? I went, no. What, never, he said. I said, no. I've been pissed a few times.
George to a finish and Russell trailing by several.
I thought, what a rude bastard. Sorry about the lingo. But I can't describe it any other way.
I got in the studio with me as a guest this afternoon, a man that's going to be the first man to make £1 million out of throwing a dart. That's right, £1 million, my friends. You got a Rolls Royce standing outside, huh? How much you earn a year?
More than you, maybe, eh?
Yeah, a lot more than me. How much you earn a year, boy?
How much I earn? Boy, sorry, old man. I earn about as much as my manager permits me to earn.
He was part of a new kind of generation who actually thought that's okay. You know, to want to make money, to want to do better, to want to sort of live somewhere nicer, to want to have nice things. There was a sort of ambition and determination in there all the time, which I think chimed in with the politics of the 80s, basically.
How do you earn it? Tell me about your routine. Talk me through a week.
The week in the life of Eric Bristow. Say Monday at Skegness, Tuesday at Manchester, Wednesday at Stirling.
Eric's agent explained to me, you make your name by winning competitions at that stage, but you make your dough by doing exhibitions and by being a public performer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Bristow. Thank you.
When I first started playing darts, the old friends said you're going to be great and do this and do that. And then when I started winning these tournaments, and then earning more money than them, then the resentment got in. And now the friends that I thought I had before are not friends anymore. Well, they say it's tough at the top, man, and you got no friends.
But Eric wasn't alone in knowing what it was like to be the world's #1 player.
Maureen Flores is the girl who's really got this game weighed up.
We were with the same management, you know, they have mixed exhibitions, so we did that. We did that for quite a while.
She was the best lady player in the world. I mean, she was as good as 90% of the men in the field.
Well, the men have been going a lot longer than we have, but I just don't know. There's no physical reason why they should be any better.
Eric and me, we sort of we were together on the road. We were going on the road.
He'd started going out with her, and he had a long-term relationship with Maureen.
She was just gorgeous, wasn't she? And she was brilliant at darts. I mean, what's not to like?
He gave me a lot of support. I was the best. Mo will beat her, Mo will sort that out. You know, that's how he was. As far as I was concerned, he was always saying I was the best.
He was always supportive of girls playing. He didn't care who played darts. He said that darts is for everyone.
Eric moved near Stoke-on-Trent to live with Maureen and her 3 children from a previous relationship.
He was very, very quiet at home, really, and he never did have a drink at home or anything like that. And he'd play games with the boys. I mean, he was very generous person. If he saw anything, oh yeah, we'll take that for the boys, or you know, they can have that. He was very good-natured.
I think maybe it's the best thing I ever did, was get involved with Maureen. I suppose she's tamed me a bit. Like all women think they can tame you anyway.
She kind of cleared his head of a lot of rubbish. He didn't have to be as abrasive. He didn't have to slag everybody off all the time.
She was the moderator. I think she knew when Eric was likely to step out of line, and she made sure he didn't. She was bloody good for him.
We both wanted the same thing. We were both, at the time, at the top.
By 1983, darts was attracting record-breaking TV audiences.
Darts was at the peak of its powers. Everybody's talking about it in the shops, down the pub.
On for Mark.
For the K?
I don't know.
Samantha, S-A-M-A-N-T-H-A, yeah?
Are you coming again?
Am I coming again? That's what someone said to me last night, yeah.
At the World Championships, with Bobby George knocked out in the first round, Eric made it once again to the final. But this time found himself up against a complete outsider.
They used to call his nickname was like the Carrot Cruncher. Very sort of naive, young, sort of country bumpkinish.
Hello. I'm playing darts all the time, and I'd come back from school, and Mum and Dad's, you know, I'd have to do my homework, and I'd just get on the dartboard in the kitchen. And when I first went into a dart league, I won the singles.
He was very competitive. He lived and breathed darts. I became his manager, so I just wanted him to get past the first round, to be honest. I thought that would be a great achievement.
He actually had to qualify to play in the World Darts Championship. I mean, he was that obscure.
Wants double eight. He's got it! A 1-2-1 finish! Another major upset!
You're looking forward to it? 11 sets?
I'm very pleased to be in a final, but I'm not happy just come runner-up. I want to win it.
Eric was cocky, arrogant, brilliant, all those things. He didn't have no time for me. I was just a county player.
Eric would have thought, this is going to be a shoo-in. You know, I'll do this numpty straight off. Bang.
The 1983 World Professional Championship first set, Keith Della to throw first.
This year, the final will be the first to 6 sets.
Candela. Do the unthinkable and beat Bristow in the World Final.
Now he was going into the realms of matches that he'd never played that long before. You know, could he hold his concentration?
People like to see an underdog. This kid's an under puppy. He's only 23, but can he play darts?
I just thought, just relax. So I'm just going to have a go. I'm playing the best player in the world.
Teller wants 1-2-4 for the set. Bullseye.
Game shot, that's the first set too.
Sheer bewilderment on some people in the audience at the talent of young Della.
Very, very quickly, he was romping away with it. This couldn't happen.
Double 18 for the fourth set. Double 9. Yes, he's done it as well.
And the fourth set to Keith Della.
They're standing, they're applauding this young man from Ipswich. A lot of fans.
But Eric wouldn't be down for long.
Eric will not give an inch until he's absolutely beaten.
And the sixth set.
Once again, not together. That was to the crowd.
Try not to make no eye contact with him on the stage so that he couldn't try anything. I knew that if I sort of looked at him, he's going to try and work me. And I thought, just keep cool. Don't let him get to you.
Here we go.
140!
Makes it interesting.
I guess if Eric's trying all the old tricks and techniques on a guy and he's just still playing like it's 10:45 at the Jolly Gardeners, maybe that's a little bit unnerving.
But take it from me, Brissy's worried up there. For 5-3, Della, double 16. Yes! That's the outside. The Ipswich Wonder Boy gets the fans bananas.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Fifth play. Peace to Trumpet.
Could be seconds away from a decision. If he wins this leg, he's the world champion.
You got to think, well, I'm one game away from being world champion. But I try not to get it into my head too much because if you do that, you're gonna choke.
Double 9 for the world title. 1. Double 4 for the title. To make it a darts match. Double 12. Getting nearer by the 1/8 of an inch.
I think I'd gone. I did get nervous. You know, when it on the big games, I did get nervous. I'd prefer to sit out at the back.
It requires 4.
For the title, double two. Double six. Everybody's getting the jitters now.
Yes, that's the 9th set to Bristow.
Hey, what a game dart is!
In a world final like that, and miss a double like that, it's hard to come back from that. You know, he's missed that chance. Is he going to get another one?
For a champion like Bristow, this is maybe the point at which you do begin to sense a little weakness. Maybe you think that this is yours for the taking.
Eric to throw first. Game on. Thank you.
I thought Eric's got it now.
Double 16.
Yes, that's the first leg to Eric Bristow. Eric requires 40.
To really get back in this match, tops.
Yes, that's the second leg to Eric Bristow.
Bristow back in business.
This was the great quality of Bristow at this point in his career. He was obviously brilliant at creating up an opportunity, but he was also unparalleled at taking it.
All I kept thinking was, I should be world champion now. I should be off the stage. I should be holding that trophy. And I just couldn't get it out of my head.
Top goes in. Bristow rocking and rolling, doing a Mick Jagger on the stage. Tossie's back. It's 5 apiece.
I think everyone in the arena at that point thinks this is only going one way.
Eric requires 36.
Della pulls the dart with Venom. Bristow wants double 18.
Yes, that's the first leg to Eric Bristow.
I was running out of time. I just said to myself, you're not come all this way for nothing. Come on, you can do it.
Keith requires 121.
Double 8 for Della.
Yes, that's the second leg to Keith Della.
I don't quite believe this, but those that obviously do. 1 apiece in the decider. Double 16 for Della. Yeah!
Yes, that's the third leg.
For the second time, Della had the championship within reach.
If Della takes this leg, he becomes world champion.
But Eric Bristow again looking like he's going to level it all up, take us into a tie-break. Leaves 121 after 9 darts. Very professional leg. Hits a 17, hits treble 18. That leaves the bullseye. Or does it?
Bullseye. Played the percentage shot.
89.
I was just looking at the bullseye and he didn't go for it.
Eric decides, with Keith back on 138, that he's going to go for a big 18 to leave himself on double 16, which Bristow rarely missed.
And for Keith to take out 138, 138's not an easy shot. It's, you know, it's treble 20, treble 18, and across the other side of the board for double 12. That's not an easy shot. I think Eric played the percentages.
He'd be thinking there's no way he's going to get that. No way. And that's the reason as he did it. He's not going to get it.
Keith requires 138.
Looking dangerous, Bristow. He's banking on Della not doing this, but the shot's on for the title. Double 12 for the title.
Most sports are about movement. Darts is about stillness, skill, grace, and accuracy.
I'm telling you, I've seen nothing like it in my life.
He just threw the most beautiful dart at double 12 when it went in. And I thought, oh my God, he's done it.
The relief that just came out of me. And when I turned around and went like that, and it was unbelievable feeling. I thought, I'm now the world champion.
Gosh, played so well, didn't he, Keith? Unbelievable. That game was unbelievable.
Keith Della of Ipswich, 23-year-old, he had to qualify to get here. Bristow did a percentage shot. Della did the business. He's now the world champion.
Incredible. One of the greatest darts games in history. It absolutely gripped the nation and showed how darts had really arrived on the national stage.
It was unbelievable. And Eric walked off past me and just he said to me, he said he'd done well.
You don't play as well as you can do, and somebody plays a bit better. You know, I'd shake the guy's hand first of all, say best of luck, hope you win it.
Maybe he was a little bit complacent. Everything was going well for him. He had Maureen. He may have felt that it was destined that he was going to win the World Championship again. Yeah, it could have been a little bit of complacency.
Following that defeat, Bristow seemed to have his mind set on not ever letting that kind of thing happen again.
He shook me hand, he said, enjoy it. He said, because you'll only have it for 1 year. Brilliant. I just laughed. I said, fair point.
If you were going to script the 1980s, you would end the decade with a final between Eric Bristow and Jockey Wilson.
You said you don't like Jockey Wilson.
That's an understatement, yeah.
Jockeys used to say they only practice when I'm pissed.
He got banned for being a bit too boisterous.
There's one with the drink and one without the drink, like a Jekyll and Hyde.
He was not what you think he is.
How could you be in that position messing up?